Battlefield 6 open beta was amazing. Some of the best fun I've had with a Battlefield game in over a decade. I mean, I was really getting flashes of Battlefield 3. I was getting flashes of Bad Company 2. It was just fun. It was just fun again. It was great again. I couldn't stop playing. I clocked 24 hours in over the weekend. It's probably not as much as some people, but it was really fun for me. I didn't want to stop playing. I didn't want to stop streaming it. It was great. But let's talk about it. My name's Logic Motion. Welcome to Beyond Plug and Play. Let's get into it. So like I said before, I clocked in a whole 24 hours of the open beta on this first weekend. And I just got to say, I had a ton of fun. The game feels really good, way more enjoyable than 2042. It has a identity. It's not having an identity crisis, not knowing what it wants to be. It's clearly Battlefield. It stays true to that old school Battlefield formula. Your classes, right? So your engineer, your recon, your assault, your support, all that is there. It really just felt like a classic Battlefield game. I could not stop playing. So my first couple of matches, it did take me some time to just get used to how weapons feel, get used to how movement feel, just get used to the game. So I was a little rusty my first couple of hours, but it finally just clicked and things just started making sense. I started getting more kills, started just getting into that Battlefield flow, even just getting into vehicles, just getting more map knowledge. All of that came to me like within the first 2 to 4 hours of the game, and it was great. I was having a ton of fun. And one of the modes that I played a ton of was Close Conquest, just because I like the idea of weapons being locked to the class. So if you're if you're support, you're using LMGs. If you're assault, you're using assault rifles. If you're a recon, you're using snipers. And if you're an engineer, you're using SMGs, right? I like that ideology of Battlefield. Obviously, you have weapons that you can pick within the classes as well. Your DMRs, your carbines, and there might be one more exotic. It might be like shotguns or something, but I like Battlefield with locked classes just because it gives identity to the classes. It's for me, that's how the older Battlefield games were. And so to me, it just makes sense. They do have the option to do just regular conquest where the weapons aren't locked. So if you want to run LMG with the sniper, you can absolutely do that. But I prefer close. It just, like I said, it gives the classes more identity to me. I like the mode, and I think that's how Battlefield should be played. I'm glad they gave you the option though, right? All right, listen. So one of my least favorite maps of beta, I'm gonna start off with my least, and that doesn't mean I hate it, but Liberation Peak, right? Liberation Peak was okay. And just because I say okay, just because when I played it, there were a ton of snipers, right? There was probably 6-7 snipers at a time just on that mountain or whatever. You would see the glare, just tons of sniper on that map. And I feel it because it does seem like a very sniper influenced map. But it got to the point where it would be to your detriment. Like so many people on my team going sniper, it was like, dude, we're going to lose all these bases. But I do get it. It does feel like an advantage being a sniper on this map, especially if you can hit your shots. But there were some matches like where people wouldn't even compete just because you could just rush them down, right? Because everyone's trying to snipe and not everyone's hitting their shots. I'll tell you that. But overall, I think it's a great map. And I played the same map. I was going to get to this later, but I played the same map on Breakthrough, and it felt very one-sided just because like when you're playing attackers, you get a tank, but I mean, the other team just has like this huge hill advantage. And I don't know. I felt like it was very one-sided. Overall, Liberation Peak, a good map. I think people are very eager to play sniper. And so you're probably going to run into that. When the full game comes out and people have had their fill, you'll probably see more diverse classes, and not everyone picking sniper, but everyone's just trying to get a feel for the game. And sniper is one of those popular classes, especially on the map like that. I totally get it. Okay, so the next map I want to talk about is the Iberian Offensive. And I really like this map. I don't know if I liked it better than Siege of Cairo, but I would probably put them just about even. But I just like the diversity that Iberian Offensive has, especially at sea. When you're at sea, it is a close quarters match. A lot of your fights are going to be right in the face. There's going to be a lot of people with shotguns in there. I personally don't want to go in there if I don't have a shotgun, just because that's what the fight is about. Like, it's, you know, you're there up close. A lot of it is it just feels so close quarters, and it's not a bad thing. You know, you need points like that, but when you get C, when you own C, it really does feel rewarding just because you won that fight. You won just all that close quartersness. It's great. I like it. And then there's more to the map than just that, right? I like fighting at A is fun. Fighting at E is fun. Even D on those outer skirts of the map. And I just like the urban feel of this. And when, like me, I played a lot of 2042, even though I don't like 2042 that much as a Battlefield game. And a lot of the 2042's maps were very open, very wide, just so much space. So to get something just a little bit more condensed, like Iberian Offensive, where we're in the nitty gritty urban area, there's a bunch of buildings to go through. It's fun. It's great. It feels like, I can't remember the name of the map, but it feels like that one Battlefield 3 map where you're like in the city, and it's great. That's this map specifically took me back to Battlefield 3, and I think it's good. I think it's fun, and I want more maps like this. Obviously, I want to see something like Caspian Border, right, with more open areas, but I do not mind these urban maps. They're a little bit more cluttered, a little bit more condensed. See the destruction going on. Like, it's awesome to me. I love it. All right, so Siege of Cairo, I would put this map equal with Iberian Offensive just because I can't really decide of which one I like better. I really enjoyed them both equally, but Siege was good just because a lot of the contention took place at C. You would get both tanks there from both teams, just standing off there, and everyone's fighting for C, and it's such a battleground just because it's kind of like that's your middle ground, right? And then whoever gets C can kind of push over into the other side or whatever and leak over to the other side. But a lot of the times with these maps, like boom, you grab C, you have your A and B or D, E, F or whatever, and you have like the other team, they'll sneak over and grab your base, and you just have that over and over, and you're just flipping points constantly. But C is always like a very contentious spot. There's always going to be people fighting there just because it's the middle point of both your bases, right? It's where everyone comes together. It's a melting pot, essentially. And this map, I would say it was no contest of this map being the best until people start doing that dumb elevator glitch to get on top of the building. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a beta. So I had a lot of fun with this map. I think it's great. And this is like one of the first maps I played. And let's talk about the classes as well. So let's talk about Assault. So Assault, I feel like Assault is super powerful right now, right? I'm not saying it needs to be toned down, but like you got to think, man, these guys they get an assault rifle, they get their primary, they get a secondary like shotgun, and then they get a secondary, they get a pistol, they get a grenade launcher, fire and explosive, whatever. Like, man, the assault class is decked out, and the shotgun is super strong. I mean, you can just run around with that thing like a sniper, man. It really does take names. It kills and takes names, dude. The assault class is what's in the name, dude. You're getting fucking assaulted. You're getting assaulted. So it's cool to see that. Like, when you see an assault rifle, or I'm sorry, when you see an assault class, like, you know that these guys are going to be doing damage. They have a lot of tools to do damage, right? So that they've done their job with that class. I honestly feel like the shotgun is so crazy. I mean, there was times where I would pick the shotgun and I get like 5 kills, right? And it's just boom, 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 very quick, very fast. It feels good though. It's like a huge dopamine rush. It's like, damn, I just got all these guys, and I like that. I like that about the class, and I think the class should feel strong. The shotgun just feels crazy right now, though. It reminds me of, I can't remember what it was called. I always talk about it. It's like the M22 or the M23 Dart in Battlefield 3. Or you remember, if you're a Battlefield 3 vet, you remember that all the lobbies would be like, no shotguns, right? Or you're going to get banned, dude. Because that's how crazy shotguns were in Battlefield, dude. Or Battlefield 3. Like, no one liked them. The server admin was like, if you use a shotgun, you're going to get fucking banned. So it's cool. I don't know. I like the idea. This is open beta, so if things are broken, I think it's fine, more so than in the full game. All right, so let's talk about the Engineer, right? So I played the Engineer a bunch. It's probably my second most played class, maybe even my first. I don't know. I don't know the stats, but definitely my second or most played class. So if I had any qualms about the Engineer, it was literally just the RPG. The RPG, it felt like if you were going to kill someone with it, you had to hit them directly, like kind of shooting near them or towards the floor of them. They would just shrug it off. Just whatever, dude. You just shot an RPG at me. I don't care. I stiff arm this Heisman Trophy. with the RPG. Like, they don't care. And you didn't get a lot of ammo with the SMG, but I just felt like it felt good to use just because where I aimed and how I controlled my recoil, it just felt that's where the bullets were going. There were some times where I'm shooting weapons, I'm like, this isn't really doing it for me. But the engineer class always felt like it did me right. When I used RPGs on tanks and stuff, felt fine. I used RPGs against helicopters. I got a couple of kills there, and that was awesome as well. And I love the gadget with the engineer that you put down, and it kind of shows people that are moving around in the area. I felt like the engineer class was perfect. There's some obvious changes that they could make to the RPG when it comes to hitting other infantry players, but I honestly had a lot of fun with the engineer class. I thought it was great. Thought it's in a good spot. Obviously, I would like a little bit more weapons, but it's an open beta, so it's not really a big deal. Let's talk about support. So support is one of my favorite classes. That's one of the classes I played in Battlefield 3, played the medic in Bad Company 2. Always been a fan of support. So one of the first weapons I tried on support was the L110 LMG, and I wasn't a huge fan of it just because it really didn't feel like I was doing that much damage. I got mastery on it. I hit level 20, and it just didn't feel good. Even when I threw attachments on it, it never really felt that great. I did end up putting a bipod on it, and obviously I matched that up with the barricade, and I felt like it did kind of shine a little bit more when I did that, obviously, because you just don't get as much recoil, but I still wasn't really feeling it. It made me, like, support on Battlefield 6 made me switch to engineer, and I was having such a better time with engineer just because my kills were more consistent. I wasn't losing gunfights even when I got the first shot. So I don't know, support just felt weak to me. And once I switched to the KTS, things started to change for the better just because the KTS felt way different. I mean, when I first started using it with no attachments, I was still like, this is rough. Once I started putting attachments on there, I threw a suppressor on there. I threw a fast mag or whatever on there. Threw what else? I threw some foregrip on there. And I threw a sight on there, and I mean, that thing really shined. There was not a lot of recoil. I could ding people from like 100 meters away with it. I mean, it was crazy. I really enjoyed the KTS. I hope more LMGs are in that fashion. The L110 needs something. I hope the M60 comes back. I would love that. But overall, I was really happy with the support class towards the end of the beta, or more so towards the middle of the beta. At the start, I was like, I don't know. But towards the middle, I was like, okay, support class it's up there for me. And I mean, obviously you have the gadgets as well. You have your defib and you have your barricade. All that was great. Even the special skill that all the classes get, all that is great. And I thought it really brought the class alive, and I was able to have fun with it. Recon, right? So I'm not the best recon out there. I'm not like the best sniper out there. So I didn't really play too much recon. But what I gotta say is I was able to ding a few people, and I felt like it was good. What really shined to me as the recon was more so the gadgets and the tools that you get. You get C4, you get basically a spawner, and then you get a motion detector, and then you get a UAV that kind of hovers around, dude. That's awesome. As a recon, I mean, you just get so many tools. I feel like there's so many times where I'm just sitting in the bush it was Iberian Offensive, or I'm sitting in a bush, I got my UAV above, and like no one can see me. Like I'm just there. And I thought that was awesome. And then you just kind of jump out, throw your C4 on the tank or whatever. You get so many tools. As I feel like recons are super strong, right? And you don't necessarily need to use a sniper rifle. Like you could use a DMR, even though I think the DMRs aren't great. I'll talk about it later. You can use the carbines, which feel just as good as the assault rifles. So I feel like you just have so many options as a sniper. And I don't know about you, but I tried to use the DMR, and I wasn't feeling any of them. I think there was two you get. I mostly tried the EBR. Ranked it up, and it just didn't feel good to me. I felt like every gunfight I got in, I was losing because I needed 3 bullets to kill him. And then even sometimes I would get a headshot, and then I would get a body shot or a body shot and a headshot. I would still need 3 bullets to kill somebody. So in my opinion, I deemed it not really worth using. There's a lot of kick with the recoil. It just wasn't fun to use. It was lowering my dopamine levels the more I used the EBR. So I fucked off completely and just decided that I would use a carbine, or I would use the shotgun with the sniper class, just because I was more consistent. But overall, I had a ton of fun with the Battlefield 6 beta. It was great, man. I mean, and this is coming from a long time Battlefield player. I've been playing since Bad Company 1. I'm not going to sit here and say I've been playing since like the 90s or early 2000s or whatever. But Battlefield Bad Company 1 was my first Battlefield, right? And it hit everything for me. It hit the G spot. I'm just kidding. But it was just so much fun. Like I was just able to play and just kind of forget about the time or whatever, just because it was that fun to me. It just felt like I was playing Battlefield 3, felt like I was playing Bad Company 2. It just felt so fun to me. And this is I was saying it all stream, but this is a return to form for Battlefield. They really looked at the blueprint that they had before and they were like, hey, let's go back to this. This is what worked for us in the past. This is what we need to do. And I really appreciate that, just because 2042 was so bad with the specialist stuff, and you just see them now like return to classes, and it's such a refreshing feeling. And so many people like that. You don't need to, and it just shows you don't need to be like Call of Duty. You don't need specialists. You don't need all this other fluff on your game, dude. Just make a good Battlefield game. Do what you're known for, bro. The people will come. The people will come. But yeah, no, overall, I thought the beta was great. Thought it was fantastic. I want to play more. I'm going to play more this weekend. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I'm having withdrawals. I want to relapse and play more Battlefield. But that's all I got. What do you guys think about the Battlefield 6 open beta? Did you guys have fun? Did you have a good time? I know I did. Just let me know how you felt about the beta down below. Let me know what you think was overpowered, underpowered, mid-powered. I want to know. I want to talk about Battlefield. I think it's great. It just gives me really good first impressions of the game. I know people always say don't pre-order or whatever, none of this, but I got a taste of this food and I want more. I want more. I want more. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please check out the channel Beyond Plug and Play, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. You guys have a wonderful day.